had to do before going overseas?
Not in Canada here, no.
No. Okay.
Did most of our training in England after we got to England.
Okay. What kind of things did they train you for in England?
Oh, mostly for
I know he has.
well, part of it
dug up
was
a lot of
infantry
stuff, and he
training,
was actually
Okay.
the one that
and part of it was the with our staghound armored cars we had, and we even had motorcycles.
Yeah, and I got
in
a
those
letter
days
from
too,
him
you
saying,
could
sorry, we're backlogged and stuff.
you know,
And then,
travel around and
they come
just
and
for
it's like,
just for
well,
training. That's all it was for. You know?
So you were a motorcycle driver?
Well, just for a little bit there, you know.
Okay.
They were just testing everybody out when it comes to riding motorcycles and stuff like that.
I can't wait to see it.
We did a lot of
And then he goes, oh no, there wouldn't be anything in there about my girlfriends.
troop training, you might
there is
call it.
everything from what they call the
Infantry
Part 2
training
orders.
and stuff like that, you
And the
know.
Part 2 orders, like I say, is anything that affects.
So in the stag, you were with the Staghounds, and did you have a
Okay.
specific
Yeah.
position there?
Well, we didn't even have the staghounds.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have those till we got over to England. That's when we got the
Find some
staghounds
various
we got.
stories.
And we were there for quite a while
There can be
before
other
we
things in there
even
that can be
seen
quite
a,
embarrassing.
such a thing as a
Maybe if,
staghound.
you
You know.
fathered a child overseas and
Just
somebody has
those,
tried to come after you.
Those things were
for-
being made
Yeah.
at that time in the States.
There
they
can
called
be
them,
things
so
that quite often.
then they brought
they
them
will
over.
not release the full file to 10 years.
That's when
after
our
the person
regiment
is
started getting
Oh,
hold of
okay.
these
It could be
things.
a very restricted file.
Right.
If a person is still alive.
So what was your position? Did you were you a
Yeah.
driver
Did
or
they send you
I
a
was
large
both
page?
driver and co-driver.
18-inch
Driver and
page
co-driver,
with
okay.
abbreviations of what they need?
The driver
I think there
on the
is- well, I
left-hand
know there's
side,
a
just like
couple of
everybody else.
pages of
Co-driver
that.
sat
Like I said,
alongside
There
of him
should
on
be
the
one
other
that's just
side
abbreviations.
with a
Okay.
If you
submachine
don't have
gun.
one, email me. and
Okay.
I can
Front of 'em.
Okay, so that makes more sense.
Because it'll give you such things.
Oh, I'm glad you never took issue at session meetings with a submachine gun.
Hey?
I'm glad you never took issue with me with session meetings.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Were you ever wounded?
But there's so many of the
No.
No?
abbreviations in there.
How about the next one? Were you ever frightened?
It's nice to be able to understand what they
know.
actually mean.
Right, yeah, because something like you said, the
I wasn't-
terminology has changed.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
brave,
such a
I'll tell you
I mean,
that
what
much.
we might think
But you know,
stands would be
I had a
something
lot
that
of
would make sense to
scares
necessarily
or
have that.
Yeah.
dangerous places.
Okay.
But I can't say I was really truly frightened for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know whether I was nuts or what it was. But I can remember.
We're young and foolish at one point.
Pardon?
We're young and foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think it is. I come to the conclusion that that had to be the reason, because
see if a place where the Germans were.
there might have been a couple of places,
like
times I
what
was
you'd call the real
a
fighting
little bit nervous,
Except you
but
had to go through a head and you were
most of
right
the
off
time
ambush.
Right.
They had
I can think of a lot of times that
64 killed.
we were in-
overseas out of our regiment, but,
kind of a tight squad or something like that, and we just sort of laughed about it, you know.
well, there would be 20, 15,
Any that stick in your mind, Numi?
75 people in a squadron plus
Certain-
headquarters, say 100 people in a squadron.
Those things,
So
you
you
mean?
have 4 squadrons.
Oh.
So you've got headquarters squadron and then regimental headquarters.
Yeah,
So you'd like
you
you got
can-
about 700 people in the regiment.
Remember doing guard duty one night,
But the big thing about these guys
And
was
it's dark
so
at night,
different is they had their little
walking on a-
15-man group.
actually a
had to
night
depend on each
what we were
Right.
on.
And I've heard of cases where
And
a
the
troop
Jerry's
wasn't produced,
had been on there
and
before.
sometimes even the officers.
They were
wouldn't
actually, they were
because
just across the river there.
troop might have been good when they had a
And
different
it's dark
officer,
at
but all of a
night,
sudden
and
the new
but
officer
they'd
came in.
already had,
And
they
all of a
left
sudden, the troop
what
fell
they call
apart. It was no
trip
longer
wires.
pulling
So if
tight
you
knit.
Yeah.
walking around there
So
and
all
you
of a
trip
sudden,
these little wires, a little
see, oh,
flash of
there's
light,
something
you
wrong.
know.
And I mean,
And
there's
I
a
would
lot
walk
of other
along
people
there,
coming behind you,
all of a
depending
sudden,
on you doing your job.
shells were flying all around my feet and everything else.
So it's a tight
All I
thing
did is
that,
I remember
in case
swinging
I've
around,
heard where it was the
looking
officer that's
that way and
out and
going
gone,
as fast as I could get out of the
well,
country.
Yeah.
That part.
where the normal-
But I can't say I was scared of it.
Exactly.
I just sort of
Well,
called them some dirty names or something like that. You guys shouldn't be doing this to
you
me.
have to get along with some people. And
I actually just laughed at stuff like
feel
that.
confident in that. Yeah.
So when did you arrive in
The thing is,
France?
because you're, like I say, 15 people max, and then usually 14.
June, something.
You've got
I can't remember.
June 44, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you gonna be
Yeah.
But you weren't a part of the D-Day landings
No,
themselves?
no, I wasn't.
stabbing each
No,
other
we,
back and all
our
the rest
troop,
of it, or do you
our regiment never
work
got
together?
there
And
for about
I've heard of
2
cases
weeks
where
ago.
officers were taken out of
Okay.
the troop.
But
Because there'd been
they
a strong troop before, a new officer.
really
came in,
nothing
didn't
had
have good
happened
man
very much
management
when we
skills.
did get over there. Everything was, we hadn't,
What'd you
they
forget?
hadn't advanced very much.
Very
you know.
important.
Okay, they're still pretty well on the Normandy beaches at that point.
Yeah, it was just sort of,
Yep.
To pull together.
it is awful,
As I
awful
say,
slow
Stay
there
alive.
for a while
This
because
has been so,
they were trying to
such good information.
advance, but
Yeah, I
the
think
Jerry's were so
if
well
there would be anything
equipped
that
there and
was
everything
really
else.
interesting, yes.
They weren't giving up any
Once again, like,
hope
this has
at
been
all,
such a fun
or,
thing
or
for me.
any
Like I
ground
say,
that
lucky
they could.
Yeah,
found
oh,
it.
yeah.
I was in a position like this because I really didn't know what I was going to do. My legs started giving out on me.
But
I've got neuropathy
our
for 5
objective
years.
at
I've
that
got
time was
virtually no feeling
to
from my knees
go
down.
through
Yeah.
Con,
And
that
like I used to
the
have very
city
good
of
calves
Con,
and all
that's
that and
way-
stuff like this. Used to, but now
where the-
almost no calf muscle at all.
the route we were
The
supposed
legs
to
are
take.
just atrophying.
Yeah.
Like there was different routes,
So-
you know. Some were south of us and some were
Just for balance.
west and stuff like that. I don't know.
Because of not having feeling.
So many different
Yeah, of course.
regiments
So I
going different
retired a little bit
directions,
early. I think
different
I was
directions, you
61
know.
when I retired.
Oh,
But I
yes.
know our
And
regiment
I sat around for
We're
like 2 months. And then I
supposed to
didn't
go
know what
through
to do.
by
Getting bored and
through
I
the
would
town of
volunteer up at the air training
Con,
company, and they wanted me to work on
but
electronics up there, which I didn't
they
want.
had that place well,
And a friend
pretty
of mine
well
was
sold
down
up.
here, so I ended up coming down
So that's
here.
why there was so much damage
Just a
in
good match.
that
Yes.
city
Yeah, you were lucky to find this.
before they
Lucky to
ever
find you.
before they ever
They worked out
started breaking
good
loose,
Yes,
you know,
so
before
So
they
it's been such a
got
fun
the,
thing, and,
got them on the run or something.
They
were well established.
At that time, I was the only one who
Very
could
well.
do it at home. And
Any other
they were
cities
here,
that you
just
particularly remember?
Oh, I remember a lot of the
So it didn't take long
different
before
places that we
they
went
started
through,
bringing
like
information
Nijmegen
home
and
contacting me, and getting stories going back and forth, and then all of a sudden,
Just
let's buy a computer.
boy,
Yeah,
So we got a computer, and then we got the
awful lot
internet
of
in here.
towns.
yeah.
Okay. What about Nijmegen?
Pardon?
What about Nijmegen?
That's a,
Do you remember?
Because
all of
here
it.
we
Yeah.
only worked 1 day a week.
When we were in
But
Nijmegen,
it's nice you
we
can
were there
work
during
any
the
hour you want.
winter time, and we were sort of
But things
pretty
are dropping off now. So many people.
stagnant, you might say. We
Yes.
weren't
We're
moving
still
very
getting some of the
much
children that
for
are,
the because it was so cold and everything else, and wet. That's what it was. It's very wet at that time.
No, it's such a fun.
Like just reading these war diaries.
I know.
And where were you when the war ended?
Incredible.
Yes, it is.
We ended up in Germany, just nicely into Germany.
Okay.
You could publish
In
this.
86,
Yeah.
1942, 44.
45.
They do have a book this fellow wrote.
I remember it well.
He did that as
What
a
particularly do you
concept.
remember about
There were stories
that day?
all kinds
That place.
Yeah.
of information in it, and
We didn't
Oh,
stay there
that
very
one
long
that you've
before,
got
before they
advertising.
told
Yeah,
us
Dad's got a
head back the other way after we found out that
Yeah. So
They
that would be
came
good.
over the radio that,
Yeah.
they
We've
signed
got 3 of them
the
now. because
armistice, yeah.
Auntie only had one. Dad's sister
So
had
I
one.
guess
So we've also
that's
got
about as
hers
far
now.
as we got in.
She
We
passed
didn't
away,
get very
so-
far into Germany.
Yeah, because I don't
Well, those
have
things are
one,
getting,
so
like,
I always
Like,
get
last one I bought, I think, was about 75.
I remember we drove into the